Oh, oh, original red is mad at new red. Or maybe, I'm assuming. Anyways, there's two of them out here. This is when the fights start. Are we ready to go for a little walk? You think? Oh, will you bring a drink? We won't walk too far. So this little dude is just cheerily eating seeds. How close can I get to you, huh? We're actually doing a video today because we just been prompted to, like, geez, you should update your YouTube channel if you're going to direct people to it. We had a comment on the blog, and it's kind of raising this question about, like, what do we do now, guys? I mean, and there is a lot of shit hitting the fan. So there's the giant solar flares that are coming our way tonight, apparently, hugest since whenever. There's also the big meeting in Moscow next week, where the U.S. economy might be torched, or the whole U.S. country. I don't know. If the dollar becomes no longer favorite status, boy, that's going to be a major hurl into the machinery. There's what else are the big stuff that's going on today and around? Oh, so the blog was about that World Meteorological report about just how bad all the crazy tipping points and stuff are. So yeah, so the BRICS meeting in Moscow, yep, that's going to be a big one. And then yeah, just like all the students who are now on hunger strike, all of the tipping points on the globe, the AMOC slowing, the rainforest being destroyed, the crazy weather terrorizing so many places, threatening humanity. The world's going to be fine. We all know that. It's us humans who are really in the lurch. So we're just wandering through the woods and show you some of the fun stuff we're doing and have a little chit chat about what do you do. Planet critical. Still just away from the road. Oh, okay, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go through Fern Valley, and this is the pet cemetery over in here. Generally, we have 3 dead cats so far. There's Shirley. Anyways, so the ferns will be coming in really big here soon. You can already see things are greening up like crazy. And the world is in a world of hurt. But what do? Mainly, you live life and be happy. Oh, nice. This is new art infrastructure, apparently. Out here at the HARN. We good? I'll do it later. I'm really interested to see what comes in here. I think this is going to be all ferns, mainly. You can see all the blowdown in the forest. And we're on the trail up to Scruffy. Oh, tons of wood in the forest right now. That's one of the things one of the things you need to do, and there's a ton of gooseberries out. One of the things that you need to make sure is that you have food, water, and shelter, right? So food, gooseberries, hopefully they're everywhere. It's insane to me. It's going to be an interesting year to see how things produce. But we have all of this wood here, deadfall. And, like, we could heat our house with the rocket mass heater. We could heat our house on deadfall. That it's everywhere. Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere. And so making sure that you can stay warm in the cold, I think, is going to be way more critical than, at least where we are here, than staying cool from the warm, but that is becoming more of a problem up here. It is getting hotter and hotter. So the way that our house works is, hopefully it still works, is that it stays pretty cool. It stays a pretty common, same temperature. It's really well insulated, and basically kind of stays the temperature of the earth.
It's
like
a floating slab, so it doesn't suck all the heat out through the ground.
Yeah. And because it keeps kind of that temperature, as long as we manage the windows in the summer to keep the sun from beating in and heating the house up, it stays cool. And then when we get a cool night, if we're lucky, we can open the windows and cool the house off in the winter. Oh, yeah. Oh, we might get, oh, we're going to get a little bit of a shower too.
We've got rain coming from Winnipeg.
Big gray cloud, but it's pretty blue skies. So, okay, so heat, food, and that's probably the big downfall here is we're in the woods, and so we don't have...
Coming up on your right, different food.
Oh, I don't know that these are good ones. I think these are a little different, but... Oh!
This is the original plant from last year.
And those little ferns coming up out of the ground. There is also a teeny little bit. There's some ferns there. There's a little sneak peek.
Ginger.
It's really, really crazy other places though. But this is kind of a fun stop. This is one of our favorite places. This is the big, big, big white pine, who is about probably 30 feet shorter than he used to be after a big blowdown. What was that, 2015? But we just put art up today. Scruffy. This is our Scruffy. He's always the first one we could see from way, way down the road when we were first coming up here. We always kept a lookout for him. For a while, we had some eagles nesting in Scruffy. But yeah, so this is like the southeast corner, and we have not done anything up here. This is kind of a bit of the wild area. We do come in here. We really don't. The only place that's a zone 5 for us for permaculture freaks is really the swamp. We don't do much of anything in the swamp, but we're in all the areas of the forest, and there are paths which are more worn than not. And we do have neighbors nearby. They're the closest neighbors that we have. Very nice people. And yeah, look at all this goose. So we're just starting to get some of the paths cleared for the... And you can see here evidence. I can stay on this trail. Once you know the trails, it's good. But we're getting back into the really cool part. But that is a neat. And we are going to get a little rain. There's a place over here. Sorry, guys. I know, I was just showing them this tree. There's all kinds of good stuff happening here. Those of you who know. And there's all kinds of stages of life all throughout the woods here. Ooh, we're going to get a little bit more rain than I thought we might, but we're still doing good. The forest does protect really well. Even though I know it's raining, I'm not getting drenched. Got nice little shelter. I know. So, one of the things that we discovered the other day, which is really lovely, I kind of skipped by the ginger field, but here's a small one. This is one of the places where the ginger grows, and it's prolific like this throughout multiple places out here in the woods. It's beautiful. And then I was really excited to see, I've never seen so much. So tell me what you guys think about this, but this bloodroot is everywhere. Everywhere, 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 everywhere. So we had to move the trail so that, oh, there's a little hot pocket there. We had to move the trail, kicking up a bit of a storm, because we wanted to protect the bloodroot. So the trail winds down through here now and around, and there's still a few that are really close to the trail. So yeah, so whoa, oh, nice, nice, I caught it. Wow. Yeah, so one of the things you need is a shelter from the storm. How appropriate. And for more and more people, that's becoming more and more difficult. And so my friend asked the other day, what can we do? And I think one of the things that we can do is we can learn how to live together. And it's going to be, it's going to take some work getting along, definitely. But I think that's what we're going to have to do. I think if you want to know what we need to do, look at the poor communities of color anywhere near where you live if you don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm talking to white people primarily here, white Americans, probably upper middle class Americans who really don't have any. We've been spoon-fed and we're so weak. It's really sad the more I learn about, how it is living without an income. And well, now we are happy to have finally made it to Social Security. That's an awesome new change for 2024. But yeah, housing is becoming a problem, and we really need to think about food, and we need to think about health and caring for the least of it, like the kids and the elders, right? The ones who have lost some of their ability, or the ones who haven't yet developed their skill sets, and who are more vulnerable. So all of these things are important. I'm going to stay on the other side of these guys for a minute while it does rain a little bit. So while we were apart, I was telling them about having shelter from the storm. I did catch that tree falling. It was wild. So, oh yeah, you can kind of see the mist in the, oh, this is so pretty. You can see the rain coming down, but miigwech. This is lovely. Miigwech mitagug. So yeah, you have to have shelter from the storm, and sometimes it's as simple as a little stand of birch, right? And so you gotta think outside the box. I think now it's not going to be the same world it has been. I think that we could have a beautiful world, and it could be really focused on sleeping as much as we need to, flowing into our days, using the skills that we have, that we're the best at, in and around other people who have other skill sets, so that we can make a great community of fun and meeting needs. And it's going to take a lot of big change. And it's going to really be rough on it here, because we've got, yeah. No, it's good. Because we've got a lot of systems in place. Literally, like it's raining in that direction and not in that direction. Wild.
Got some paper.
Yeah. And it is going to take looking back and what is really available in nature. How do we live within our means? And people are always sold that that's a sacrifice. But in fact, it's a gift. And I think people in a colonized American culture, in large part, bonjour, buddy, in large part think that property and having money are where the answers are, because that's what our economy thrives on. That's what the corporations and the governments thrive on. But money isn't really such a thing, right? Oh yeah, here we are in Ginger Patch. I showed him Bloodroot. Yeah. So yeah, we're building these little fun communities, or I shouldn't say building, we're discovering and enjoying and engaging with the many collectives in the woods here. And I think that's what we need to do in our own communities. Engage in each other's lives, figure out what the real needs are. You know, that whole story about Jesus and the fishes, think about the last potluck you went to, right? Everybody brings a tiny bit and we always have more food than we can eat. And that is how community works. And they're always fun. There might be a fight, but we'll get through it. We learn and grow from the things that we have conflict around. That's the gift of conflict. We're not going to grow and change if there isn't some level of challenge. So challenge is great. It helps improve our relationships, our understandings, and how we work with each other, right? So anyways, those are just a few answers. This is just a very little disjointed, fun walk in the woods to see some of the really cool stuff out here. Oh, yeah.
It's two trees, and this one wraps around up there.
Oh, yeah. I gotta get it from that angle. Hang on. I gotta find my way through the tree I'm stuck in. Oh, yeah.
The two goes up, and then it wraps around and goes up the other side.
Oh, she needs a sign.
You're tight. That's tight.
It's tight.
Tight.
That is the new, yeah, tight. Everything's tight.
So tight.
It's so tight. It's been the saying that keeps popping in our lives. But anyways, so yeah, food, grow your own food, know your farmer. Don't eat so much meat. Eat meat, you know, if you can. It's tastes a lot better and it's better for you than industry produced meat. Although we eat some of that too. You know, we're by no means perfect here at the HARN. We're on the very beginnings of a lot of understandings and learnings, but we're figuring stuff out and doing our best on a daily. So yeah, I think Michael Pollan said it. Eat food, not too much. I can't remember what was the last part. Do you remember?
Mushrooms.
Eat food, real food, not too much or something.
Mushrooms are good.
Yeah, there's mushrooms in the forest. We have some honeyberry plants up here. I keep hoping that they're going to bring us lots of berries. I think I need a little more sex, which is another thing that people should be doing. It's very good for our health and well-being, mental health, etc. When it's healthy. And yeah, I think we need another pollinator on this honeyberry patch up here still. But the bushes are huge, so that's pretty exciting. What else? Food, water, clean water. So you can see our water system from here. On the south side, we have rain barrels that catch water from that small section of roof on the west. And then that larger section of roof on the east, that all goes into a big 500-gallon cistern on the end. And that is our summer water. So those systems drain in the winter because we used to have a 1,500-gallon cistern?
1,000 gallons.
1,000-gallon cistern. And it sounded like a shotgun when it broke that first winter we were here because we hadn't unloaded enough water out of it.
Yeah.
So that was a loss. We're learning stuff. We're failing all the time up here. But hey, if you ain't failing, you ain't trying to do nothing. It's my personal theory. So there's water. And then on the north side, we have the water that goes to the cisterns in the pump house on the north side. And that's our internal water use. So this is our external water use, which is filling up and I think dang near full. We've had just a few rains, but these roofs catch a tremendous amount of water. It's really insane. So food, water, warmth, trying to stay cool. Think about what your impoverished communities are trying to make happen, because they're living on the ragged edge of life. They're doing the things that are absolutely required to live, right? They're not wasting their money on sometimes people do, right? You gotta have some humanity about you. People say they're wasting their money on this or that, but everybody's got to follow their path. But a lot of people waste a lot of freaking money on stuff that we just really don't need. Your money or your life. That's where we're at. I mean, that's really the book.
Requires reading.
Yeah. It really talks about how much money we spend to just go to work, for example. So, retiring early was a great decision for me. We planned for it, we saved, and we're still doing okay, and we'll see if the dollar means anything next week. But it's the basics are really what are really important. And the things where we find fulfillment, they're in the dinners and the walks through the forest and the plants. Oh my gosh, the rhubarb is just taking off like crazy. This is our best patch. It always comes in first because it's got this nice microclimate here by the HARN. And then there's the next best patch. And then there's even a little patch over here. So, and there's asparagus garden, but I don't know that we ever get any asparagus. Those are the two things I wanted to have when I retired, was rhubarb and asparagus. And, it's gonna be a waiting game now. But we always get some asparagus because it's always full of ferny leaves in the end, but I very rarely get a little stalk of asparagus. But yeah, I don't know. Those are just a few ideas.
Yeah, grew.
Yeah, and this is what nature's all about, you guys. This thing just keeps, they just will expand until they cannot, and then they will sneak out. So this is what nature's all about, and we need to stop living so much as humans and start living more naturally. And I think we'll find that we're all so much happier if we do so. So anyways, I'm gonna go in and see the girls. This is what makes life happy too, right? Is it you? And your sister?
Yes, it's us, Mommy.
These are the things that make life happy. Other beings. Cool other beings. Cool other beings. Anyways, find some cool beings and try to figure out how to live good. Miigwech. Byzendałek.